And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Macomb High School, the hangar, as we have Macomb High Bombers and the BPC Spartans here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I have Kelly Sears alongside tonight, taking Perry's on the camera. I'm Dwayne Hulett.
Who is number one?
Hobson. He's not on your roster. I'll find one for you here, though, that's got him on it.
There we go.
Cooper Hobson, that's it. We are underway here in the fresh soft game, or JV game. What did you call it? I mean, there is a difference technically, I guess, right?
I would call it a JV game.
And a bucket right off the bat for Braden Holthouse. No, it was not Braden Holthouse. It was Lambert. I saw Holthouse down there. I thought it was him, but it was actually Lambert on the bucket. 2 points on the board already for the Bombers, and an old-fashioned three-point play attempt coming. First foul on the Spartans, charged to number 11.
We'll get back to that fresh soft. You ask me again, and I'll give you the complete detail of it, okay?
That sounds like a plan. The foul was on Lane Huffman for BPC. We'll tell you who the starters were in just a second here. Huffman's jumper rattles off, tapped around. Macomb with the rebound for the Spartans. Tanner Pierce drives in, dumps it out to Brock Beekman, as I'm still not used to seeing Brock Beekman being that tall, folks. It's just, I saw his dad the other day, and I just cannot grasp him being that tall. He's grown so much between his freshman and sophomore year and become quite a basketball player here. Nice look across to Pierce, and a high off the glass is off, no good. Man, that was all but in and bounced back out.
I thought it was going down.
Holthouse takes it back the other way. On the floor for the Bombers. And a steal by Lane Huffman. Back the other way and gets it to fall. Just barely, though. It almost rolled out. Cooper Hobson on the floor. Malachi Conley on the floor as well. Braden Holthouse, of course. Jeffrey Lee and Langdon Lambert. Drew Watson twisted an ankle. Is that what I heard?
Yes. And practice.
Lee's bucket is good for the Bombers. Cooper Hobson gets the assist. It's 5-2 Bombers here early in the first quarter. 6:10 remaining in quarter number one. Beekman into Macomb again. Out to, drawing a blank there.
40.
Tanner Pierce gets the bucket. Connor Upton. Man, that's horrible. I couldn't remember Connor's name there for a split second. Holthouse going to drive, dumps it out to Lee. He'll try a three now from the left wing. It's off, no good. Tipped around, and Beekman comes down with a nice outlet to Macomb. Macomb's going to go to the basket. Put the shot up high off the glass. Malachi Conley is going to pick up the foul for the Bombers. 2 free throws coming for Ethan Macomb. For the Spartans starting tonight, Lane Huffman, number 11, number 15, Brock Beekman, number 23, Connor Upton, number 34, Ethan Macomb, and number 40, Tanner Pierce. Macomb, 2 free throws here, hard off the glass. The bank's open at 6:02 in the evening, and the Spartans tied at 5. Second free throw coming for Macomb. Off, no good. Jeff Lee with the rebound. Malachi Conley on the pass from Lambert. Goes to the rack, throws it up off, no good. Tipped around by Hobson, picked up by Lambert. Lambert can't get the follow to finish. Malachi Conley down there again and gets another putback. And you aren't going to win many basketball games, Kelly, if you give up 3 or 4 offensive rebounds per possession.
No, you're not.
Tanner Pierce, nice pump fake. Then he's blocked from behind by Conley. Bombers just swarm defensively, don't they?
Yeah, playing very well. Holthouse.
Nobody stops ball, and he gets a bucket there, and it goes from 5-5 to 9-5 in about 30 seconds. And Connor Upton with it far side for the Spartans. Tanner Pierce lays one up. It won't fall. Outletted to Holthouse. He's going to go again. Layup off, no good. Hobson tried to put the putback in. Saved in by Holthouse, picked up by Huffman, and Beekman brings it back the other way. He's going to go across to Huffman. Huffman's shot up off, no good. Neither team's shooting real well, though, right now.
No, missing a lot of bunnies in the paint.
Lee for 3. That one's off, no good. Lambert tips it. Hobson comes down with it. Lambert missed another close shot. He was under distress that time, though. It's going to go off of BPC and stay with the Bombers.
You know, those misses in the paint will come back and haunt you. And, I mean, a lot of it is they're just hurrying.
Right.
You know, they don't take their time.
Jackson Groudage checks in for the Spartans. 3 on the way by Conley is short. Hobson with the rebound, and he did not rush that putback. He did exactly what you were talking about right there. He got it, kind of hesitated a second, and put a good shot up, and nothing but net.
Yeah. Did a nice job. Very nice job.
First break of the game. Timeout charge to BPC with 4:10 remaining in the first quarter. This game being brought to you by JoJo's Gaming Parlor. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street in Bushnell. Cheer the Spartans on to victory. And Raritan State Bank. Raritan State Bank's Bushnell branch, located at 360 South Green Street in Bushnell, offers full-service banking and loan services for all of your banking needs. Come visit the bank of friendly service and call 309-772-2345. Good luck, Spartans. Raritan State Bank is an equal housing lender and a member FDIC. After the timeout for the Spartans, it'll be them with the basketball. Steve Martin wanting to stop things there. They had it tied at 5, giving up a 6-0 run. Connor Upton's going to try and end that with a 3. Can't do it, and Braden Holdhouse outlets it to Conley. Conley now is going to fake the pass and put the layup off, no good. Looks like Jackson Groudage, number 54, is going to pick up the foul for BPC. We'll wait and see if that's for sure, but I'm positive it is. It is.
Spartan personal foul charge to Jackson Groudage, number 54, his first.
Team seconds. And Conley to inbound. And that Conley may be a little too fancy there on that finish attempt.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, Holthouse for 3.
A sports corner 3 for Braden Holdhouse. But fancy and fast kind of go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, out of control.
It's about the same thing sometimes. Fancy is really nice when it works, but fancy can be out of control when it doesn't. Tanner Pierce trying to get it to Beekman, I think, but a good job of Hobson getting in the passing lane. Holdhouse backs it out. I'd safe to say that as far as basketball players go, Holdhouse is probably the best one on the floor right now.
I would have to agree with that. Ball all the way around.
High off the backboard and rim. A couple block shots, a couple offensive rebounds, and another foul. This one's going to be on Tanner Pierce, I think. It is on Pierce, his first, team's third. Jeff Lee going to shoot a couple foul shots here. His team's leading 14-5. Nolan Hogue, number 20, checking in for the Bombers. And Zaire Penn getting ready to check in as well. And the second one is good for Lee. Zariah Penn. 20, you don't have 20 on your Macomb roster, do you? It's Nolan Hogue at the bottom there. Another timeout charge to BPC. Be their second. 15-5. Let's get back to the JV versus fresh soft conversation.
And this goes back to like when we played in the Olympic Conference. And the way you would consider a fresh soft game were mainly all conference games because you were only allowed to play freshman and sophomore. But say if you played somebody outside of the conference, you may be able to throw a junior in there because they gave a fresh soft title and they gave a freshman title.
See, and I'm trying to remember which way it was, but it's the same thing. On varsity game nights, it was one thing. I want to say it was JV on varsity, or no, it was fresh soft on varsity game nights. But on off games nights, it was JV, just like you said. So
yeah.
you got kids that didn't play as much on the varsity team, but were juniors, a chance to play with some other kids and get some game experience.
A lot of times we would go a freshman game and then have a JV game and play juniors that needed to get the experience.
Exactly. That's there is a difference, but they kind of, through the years, have kind of just got mixed to be
and
the same thing almost, it seems
And
like.
a lot of it has to do with numbers now. I mean, everything being way lower than what they used to be.
Huffman with it. Goes left side, top of the key, actually. Upton. Back to Huffman. And a steal. Lambert's going to go back the other way. Oldhouse has taken a seat. Conley still on the floor. Shot off, no good, and Lee's going to pick up the foul for the Bombers.
I don't know if that was a shot or was it a pass, because he had Hogue coming in from the right side, and I don't know if he was trying to hit him on a pass or not.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell, right?
Yeah.
Depends on, and then it depends on what stat they're trying to protect the most, on which one it was.
Yeah.
Are you trying to protect your shooting percentage, or are you trying to not have any turnovers?
Or somebody was zigging when they were supposed to be zagging.
Yeah. I threw the zig and he zagged.
Yeah.
Penn with a steal. Going to try and push it back. Tried to get it to Conley, I think, but threw it right to Beekman instead. Now Huffman's going to push it back the other way. He goes down to Talon Love, who misses the shot. Talon Love coming off an injury here of late. He got hurt in football and hurt his knee. It's good to see him coming back. So he gets the rebound right there. Now Huffman over to Upton. Upton will stop and pop. He's not afraid to shoot. Oldhouse back in the game now. Beekman back to Huffman. 1:10 remaining in the first quarter. It's a 10-0 run currently for the Bombers, and they did that 10 relatively quickly, Kelly. Now it's kind of settled down a little bit.
Yeah. They scored 10 real quick with a few free throws.
Upton hit the triple. It's a 7-point lead. Under a minute to go now. 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Nolan Hogue with it. Has his pass stolen away by Beekman. Beekman's going to beat him down the floor, and the layup's good. And a 5-0 run for BPC cuts the lead in half with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Kind of got a feeling this is going to be a runnish kind of game here.
Yeah. Bushnell gets the ball up and down the court really well.
Oldhouse counting. Beekman kept that 5. There's a lot of arms swinging there, and not a 5-second call.
I was thinking the same thing. I thought it was going to be whistled any minute.
Oh, well. 2 seconds. Conley for 3. It's off, no good. Tipped around. That's how the first quarter is going to come to an end. 15-10 at the end of quarter number 1. We'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Bombers lead the Spartans 15-10.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH. You know, they're all good. You get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
And welcome back to the hangar here at Macomb High School. It's the BPC Spartans and the Macomb High Bombers reviving a McDonough County rivalry here tonight. Kelly Sears alongside. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Tegan Perry on the camera, wiggling it around up there. Kelly, we talked off air there. If BPC makes a few easy shots, they have a lead in this game.
Yeah,
I guess the same thing can be said for Macomb.
Yeah,
too.
they're playing very well, but I think they've missed a lot more shots in the paint than what Macomb has. Yeah. And don't give Macomb second chance shots.
Yeah, I would imagine that I bet 8 of Macomb's 15 points have been scored on second chance opportunities.
Yeah.
If we had more time when we were doing this, we'd keep those kind of stats, right?
Yeah.
But
or had another person sitting here with us.
yeah.
Oh.
That was a great look on a backdoor cut, but caught Talon Love a little off guard, and he couldn't catch the ball. And it's
just right down at his feet. That'd been a good pass. He'd have went, and I don't think he was stopping. He was going straight to the hole for the layup.
Yes, he was. You're exactly right. Good look, though. And you see somebody like him, Kelly, who hasn't played a lot like we're going to see Deion Doyle in the varsity contest. Hasn't played all year. Difference between him and that looked like a travel.
I thought it was a travel,
but it's going to count for a bucket. Talon Love hasn't gotten to practice because he was injured.
Uh-huh.
How much work does it take to get him into the flow of what you're trying to do in the middle of the season?
Well, the biggest thing is getting him into playing shape, because unless he's been on the stationary bike and riding, and I mean through the years when I had guys hurt, they would come in and they would ride the bikes every day, and they would do the things that they had to keep up, their strength and keep up their endurance. He had a knee
injury, so I'm not sure I don't know. I'm sure there was some sort of bike riding or something entailed in that, right? But probably a little less than. Leg injuries make that harder to keep that kind of.
Oh, without a doubt.
Going. I mean, if it's an arm injury or something, right? You can ride bike or you can run or you can do whatever. But Huffman missed the easy layup, and Holthouse goes back the other way with it. 6:40 to go here in the second quarter, and Holthouse gets another one to fall. 19-10.
That's Holthouse 7th point on the night.
Three on the way by Upton. Off the front of the rim, then off the backboard, and no good. Another miss, and back the other way it goes for BPC. Now this is the you talked about the smaller school conference that Macomb's in. This is one of those games, though, that is BPC always wants to play Macomb. Even if they aren't the favorite, they always want to play Macomb. Holthouse with a steal and a layup is good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the big thing is when you come down to basketball or baseball or so, where it can be pretty competitive. And the other thing is it's county bragging rights.
Right.
And, the little school is not supposed to beat the big school, but they do every once in a while. And that's on their radar for the next 10 years.
Exactly. Another foul for BPC. That one's on Connor Upton, number 23. His first, team's fourth. So BPC has 4 team fouls, all by different players thus far in this game.
And a lot of times that bigger school won't play that smaller school just because of that fact.
Right. Well, it's a huge deal for both teams that the small team wins, right?
Yes.
But it means nothing if the big team wins.
You're exactly right.
So, it's kind of like Ohio State playing Western Illinois.
Yes.
I mean, it's very similar.
Yeah.
That's thrown out of bounds by Holthouse, and Holthouse is like, somebody touched that. And now they're going to talk about it. Penn is going to come talk to. What's the official doing?
I think he was wanting him to come closer so they could talk, but he stood away. I don't know.
I haven't quite seen that before, but I guess those are the kind of things you wish you were privy to a sideline microphone or something like that, right?
Yes, here, sideline mic or the official mic'd up.
Yeah, exactly.
Live.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know if that'd be good or bad. Beekman's shot off, no good. Talon Love's going to get called for the foul. That'll be his first, team's 5th.
You're talking about a live mic. You talk about the NFL. Somebody I'd like to see on a live mic would be George Kittle, the tight end.
I don't know if I would or not.
It'd be pretty good.
It would be. I don't know that it would be FCC
you're
legal,
right,
but live chat's open, folks. Hop in there and tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. Got a couple of TSSR regulars playing tonight, the Spartans and the Bombers. Matthew Gock in the game for the Bombers. Holthouse puts up the triple. It's off no good. Malachi Conley gets ran over by his own teammate, who's number 15, and I don't know who number 15 is.
I don't have him on the roster.
If anybody watching knows who number 15 is, who is now limping after getting tangled up with Conley. Talon Love with it. Over to Huffman. 3:45 remaining in the first half. We'll go with the half and try to figure out.
May have to go see Jake.
I don't know if I want to do that. I wouldn't go that far. Shots off, no good. Gawk had to rebound. Conley now loses it to Hobson like he meant to. Hobson's jumper rattles around and falls through.
He's had 2 shots like that.
25-10, and it's a 10-0 run to open the second quarter now for the Bombers, and they lead by 15. It's the largest lead of the game for the Bombers. Actually, largest lead for either team. No surprise there, I suppose. The Arian Ruffin Thomas with the basketball. He's grown quite a bit too, actually. At least size-wise, if not height-wise. We'll see. We'll listen here. I think it's on number 15.
Yes.
15, Blaine Eddington picks up the foul.
Blaine Eddington.
First, team third. Isaac Lightblock is in for the Bombers.
So Eddington, that's Bronson's boy. I didn't recognize him. He's going about 8 inches to the last time I saw him too. Ethan McKim has the ball knocked away. Picked up by Hobson, outlet to Holthouse. Holthouse gets the layup. You know, Lane Huffman's about as fast as they come in the area, and Holthouse just ran with him down the floor with the basketball.
Yes.
That's getting down the floor in a hurry.
Good athlete.
And there's another steal. Beekman's going to try and beat him down the floor. And the basket is good, and the foul is going to be on. They give it to Beekman, it'll be his first. They give it to Huffman, it'll be his second. It's on Beekman.
Personal foul, 15, Brock Beekman, his first. Team 6.
That's 6 team fouls for number 15, Beekman. That's 6 team fouls, and all of them are on different people. You don't see that very often.
Spreading the wealth a little bit, huh?
Holthouse started the game with an old-fashioned three-point play, and he
got another one.
Gets another one there. A 15-0 run to start this second quarter. Huffman gives it off to Talon Love. Love to Ruffin. That's Parker Guppy. His shot's off, no good. Eddington with the rebound, and now it's going to be Holthouse pushing it up the floor the other way. Guppy down, or excuse me, not Guppy. That is Isaac Linebaugh. Linebaugh, Isaac. Number 4. Jeff Lee checking back in. Malachi Conley checking back in. Penn is back in to join Linebaugh and Eddington on the floor for the Bombers.
We'll have Linebaugh on the lineup either.
He's number 4.
Yep.
He's a freshman. He played early. That's the only reason why I had to notice I had to find this sheet that I had it written down on. Guppy with it, has it swiped away from behind by Conley. Ruffin tried to beat him down the floor, couldn't get there, and Conley gets another bucket. It's 32-10, 1:20 remaining. Spartans have not scored. They ran 5-0 at the 5-0 run at the end of the first quarter and haven't scored here in the second quarter. Conley, baseline jumper from behind the backboard and gets another bucket. It's 34-10. And Penn is going to pick up the foul. Only the 4th on the Bombers. First on Penn. Does anybody have more than 1 foul?
No, I don't have anybody down.
That's kind of nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
With 54.6 seconds remaining in the first half, and nobody has more than 1 foul.
And they've been playing pretty rough, too.
Yeah. In for the Spartans, number 14, Connor Palm. Connor won a Chubby's gift certificate from us during the Spartan Tip-Off Classic, picking the final score. We got to do that again tonight. What do you say?
Picking the final
Picking
score?
the final score of the varsity game. We'll do that. Huffman, jumper's good to break the scoring drought. It was a 19-0 run. And with 30 seconds left at the time of the bucket, the Spartans finally score here in the second quarter. Eddington with it down low. Has it knocked away by Guppy. Now to Lee, out to Conley with 7 seconds remaining. Conley, that's not even close. And that'll be the end of the first half of play. The Bombers lead 34-12 over BPC. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
All right, welcome back. We're here now with Wanda Foster, the Vice President of Nursing and Clinical Administration. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is some of the opportunities that are available at MDH for students, whether they be high school students, Spoon River College students, or Western students. MDH has a lot of opportunities to be involved and to learn, right?
We absolutely do. And we look so forward to having students here. We are a clinical site for Western Illinois University and their bachelor's program for nursing, as well as for Spoon River College nursing students and others that are doing some independent study. We welcome students, and we also encourage high school students. If you would like to learn more about nursing, we would love to meet with you. And there are opportunities at the hospital also where they can apply for jobs here, for positions. So we work closely with our nursing students, and we hope to recruit them and attract them and want to come back.
I know that publicly there's been a shortcoming or a shortage of nurses, right? And I know that every hospital and every nursing home and every clinical place period is searching for nurses. So how important is it for MDH to have these groups work with them, whether it be MDH or be Spoon River College or whatever the case may be? How important is it for MDH to then recruit those nurses to stay here and work as a profession?
It's very important. We want nursing students to feel very comfortable here, to enjoy their clinical experience and their opportunities here. And then we want them to feel very comfortable, to give them a good orientation. We hire new graduates, of course, into our acute care area as well as the intensive care unit. We hire new graduates in the emergency room, in home health and hospice, in our OB department, and our surgery department. These are all areas that new graduates can come into. We certainly give them a robust orientation. No one starts on their own until they feel completely ready. They have a mentor certainly with them, and we want to give them the best start for success that we can. And then there are many areas of specialty they can choose to go into. Nursing is a very unique field. You can work full-time, you can work part-time if you need to take time off for some reason. It's a field that you can kind of step into a little bit more than maybe some other fields in healthcare. We also have scholarships available through our auxiliary, through the hospital, and then once someone is an employee here, we do have some tuition reimbursement. So we will certainly help with that.
And going back to the scholarships and the shortages that are across the board, not necessarily at MDH, but everywhere. Right? So everywhere. This is a profession that you can make a good living at and be pretty sure to have a job, right? So
absolutely.
This is a profession that high schoolers that are playing these sporting events or high schoolers that are watching these sporting events should consider, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. You will always be assured to have a field, to have a job, a career in nursing. I hate to call it just a job because you really want someone on that career path who has that passion for caring for people, for providing nursing care. Through your education and through your orientation, we can teach you your skill set. But if you have that passion and the desire to be in the nursing profession, you will do fine.
Yeah, a career and a job, while they might be listed as the same thing, they're really not, correct? I mean, if your career is being a nurse, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more than if it's a job, right?
That's right. And you don't go into it first and foremost for the money. You go into it because that's what you want to do with your life, and the money certainly will follow.
Yeah, and that goes for anything probably,
Yes.
but the nice thing is right now, whether the money's good or bad, there's always going to be a job.
There will.
If you can get through the schooling and you can learn to love what you're doing, there's always going to be a job for you, right?
And it's not something for high school graduates exclusively. We have many people who have made changes midlife. We have people who have retired from their career in one thing and have chosen to go into nursing. So it's open for any age, and we certainly welcome that.
And you mentioned there's different areas of expertise for nurses. People think of that for doctors, but it's really that same way for nurses, right? I mean, you can be a surgical nurse and really become a great surgical nurse, or you can become a great ICU nurse, or you can do all those things.
Yes.
But if you really want to focus on something or be at OB, which you guys have a great OB department here, if that's what you want your focus to be and you really love working with expected and new mothers and young babies, you can do that, right?
You can do that. We also have positions in our MDH physician clinic practices as well. And if you are in nursing and you can choose to specialize in a certain department, you can choose to go on and be a director or a clinical care coordinator. You can go back to school and become a nurse practitioner, become a certified registered nurse anesthetist. You can go many different directions and really as high as to whatever extent in your education you would like to pursue.
Well, Wanda, thanks for coming and talking to us. We greatly appreciate it. I know that there's probably specific places within MDH that they can reach out to, correct? Is there somewhere that they need to call if they're interested?
I would call
in
our human resource department and start there, and then they can help direct and guide you. They can tell you about openings that we currently have. All of our current positions are listed on our MDH website, www.mdh.org. But certainly any positions for high school students, if they would like to start somewhere within the organization or volunteer experience, reach out to Human Resources and they can help direct you.
Well, again, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
And welcome back to the hangar. Here is the McDonough County rivalry back in action tonight. Andrea Ratterman takes a seat. You want to put a headset on and talk? Are you sure? It's right there. Put it on. Well, we'll figure it out once you put the headset on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good evening.
Andrea takes a lot of pictures of Macomb High sports and a bunch of stuff. If you've been looking at the TSSR Bites, the Tri-State Sports Report Bites, and the Community News Brief, 90% of those photos are Andrea's.
Hey, it's been a lot of fun learning the different sports and just seeing the kids do their craft. It's just kind of fun to watch them.
You're carrying 2 cameras now.
I am.
You've got the camera backpack strap thing. You look like a professional and stuff.
Well, my dad is a photographer, and he, this is my Christmas gift.
That's nice.
Get the whole harness. I look like I'm,
So do you ever forget which camera you're using?
Yes, I try to make sure that I can get to the smaller camera when they're coming at me down the lane, but it's a little bit of a juggle.
So you got Nikon or Canon?
Canons.
You don't use real cameras. Nikons are way better than
Oh,
Canons.
no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've been Canon all my life.
You're one of those people.
Yeah, it's like Ford or Chevy, so
Yeah,
I'm like, this is definitely a Cannon thing. So.
It is. You're right. So, are you enjoying the different sports? You've been taking a lot of wrestling and swimming.
Yeah,
so what's been your favorite?
Each sport has a little bit different challenge. Band, I really like to do band. No, I'm just,
actually band is way harder to photograph and make it anything special than people would imagine.
So I am a band mom, and then I'm a swimmer mom. So those are my two favorites. But I really do like to get basketball. I have kind of just a different that perfect shot that I'm looking for each sport. So I was able to find several of those in volleyball. That was a lot of fun to learn. Soccer was a little tricky. Basketball seems like a big game of keep away for me with the camera. I have to find the ball. So, all right.
Well, Andrea, thanks for talking to us. We'll let Kelly get back under here. Thanks for everything you do. We appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Andrea Ratterman talking to us for a few minutes, and she's going to get back up and go to work. And Kelly's back here, nice enough to get me a drink of water as we get ready to go with the third quarter. And JV competition, 34-12. And Huffman knocks it out of bounds as the Bombers start the second half with the basketball. Kelly, I gave your headset away for a second there.
Hey, that's not a problem.
Second half action, BPC at this point down by 22. It's not over, but they need to make something happen quickly, don't they?
Yeah, they need to score quickly.
And not give up offensive rebounds. Hobson turnaround jumper off, no good. Jeff Lee and Tanner Pierce fighting for a rebound. Pierce came down with it, but after contact fell to the ground and gets called for the travel.
You know, that's such a questionable call.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand why it is because there's a shot by Connolly's up and in. It's hard to fall and not move both feet, and I get that, but at the same time, there's no advantage gained by falling down.
No, and I watched a video the other day on what was the true meaning of travel, and I kind of scratched my head, and it had me all confused. I'm like, you can set on your butt, and it's not a travel.
You can sit on your butt, but you can't fall to your butt.
Yeah.
Conley, another jumper off, no good. Another offensive rebound, and it's going to be tapped around and finally tracked down by Holthouse as Huffman knocked it into the backcourt. Yeah, it's funny. It's kind of like a jump stop.
Yes.
And you can't move after a jump stop unless you jump to shoot, but you can't take a step.
Unless you do the Euro step.
Yeah. It's it's all interpretation is how I kind of feel about it at this point.
You're exactly right.
It's whatever we want to interpret it to be and what we want to allow.
The gray area, as I always call it.
Yeah. There's none of those in racing, though. Conley on a skip pass. 3 off, no good. Tipped around again. Beekman's going to come down with this one. Upton is running down the floor with him, but Beekman's going to keep it and get the layup.
Can we say tire prep? With a new compound this year.
Is there a new sprint car compound?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like the old RD12, but it is.
Oh, it's really soft then.
It is going to be with the Outlaws and the All-Stars.
Holthouse shot off, no good. Beekman with the rebound. Oh, Conley, as Beekman got a little lackadaisical there. Conley draws the contact, and they're going to call an offensive foul. Conley leaned in. He drew the contact. He most definitely did. And you hear him trying to say you want to draw that contact, but he made it too obvious, right? I mean, you can lean in and kind of get it, but he leaned.
I think the push-off with the elbow got him.
He didn't really argue. I think he knew that he was gonna get called.
Yeah.
His brother plays for BPC's varsity team. Jalen is Malachi's brother. Huffman with it. Left side, Upton. Off, no good. Lambert with the rebound. Conley. Holthouse. Now you're up by 22 still. What do you don't want? If you're going to leave these guys in, you want to see them do good things, right? You don't want them to be running out of the. There's a foul on Brock Beekman, his first player with 2 fouls.
Well, it's pretty easy to sit over here and make the calls.
Right.
Everybody has their own different philosophies and so forth, and you know, a lot of guys, a lot of coaches will leave these guys in for 2 or 3 minutes to get some playing time, kind of depending on where your next game's going to be.
He makes one of the two.
And then other ones, who made that?
Holthouse.
And then the other ones will
Colin
not
Adams,
even play
thank
him
you.
at all.
Telling us it was Blaine Eddington. But I guess my thought about that is if you're going to leave them in at this point, you don't want them to do things they shouldn't do because they're ahead, right?
Well,
we want you in doing
yes.
what we need you to do and in working on things maybe to advance that, right? You don't want them out there goofing off or whatever.
You're exactly right. And, you know, we used to have the rule where we got to make 10 passes, 10 good passes before anybody can shoot the ball, you know, and run your offense.
Yeah, and that's I kind of feel like that's what Macomb's doing a little bit here is that they're not pushing the issue quite as much. Jeff Lee misses a shot. Hobson with another offensive rebound. Blocked again. Conley comes down with it. He's going to go in, put up the shot, and it'll fall. Another offensive rebound for the Bombers. They're up by 25.
You know, and rules like no shots in the paint, no threes, work on our mid-range game.
Ethan McKim nearly loses the basketball, tracks it down in the corner, gets it to Pierce, who has it tipped away by Lambert. Conley tries to outlet the Holthouse, but doesn't get nearly enough on it. Beekman has it picked away again by Conley. Conley's got about 4 steals. Now Beekman returns the favor back the other way. And this is exactly what I was talking about, right? Huffman gets the layup. Being
sloppy.
Being lackadaisical, not taking care of the basketball, not making good passes. That's the stuff you don't want to see them do.
Yes.
Holthouse for 3. It's off no good. Lambert had to rebound and missed it on the putback. Connor Upton now goes to Huffman. Huffman is hammered by Conley. Huffman will have a couple free throws now.
Malachi Conley, number 3, picks up the Bomber foul. His third, team at second at the line for 2, Leighton Huffman.
I noticed this. We do the Liberty Basketball Association. Jarek Stovall's doing a semi-pro men's league deal, and we've been broadcasting some of those games. And I noticed that they never have anybody get back, it seems like. They get beat back a lot because everybody's trying to score, right? When you were coaching, did you say 24 or 40, whatever number, whoever it was, I need you to be your back. I want you to get back on defense all the time.
Everybody had to hustle back, but usually the person that was up on the point, you know, like if you was running a 1-2-2, or if you was running a man, the person that had the guy at the top of the key, you're busting it back.
Yeah, and at the same time, there's another lackadaisical pass. Holthouse. Brock Beekman fouls Holthouse again. And another three-point play coming for Brock Beekman. And then the other thing is when you're on defense, we need you down rebounding.
Yeah.
I've noticed the same player for BPC down the court 3 or 4 times offensively, not in rebounding defensively, which when you're struggling to get offensive or defensive rebounds, you probably need to have everybody underneath the basket, right?
One guy goes back, everybody else hits the boards.
Xander Jones in for BPC. Also, De'Arian Ruffin Thomas. Holthouse, old-fashioned three-point play. Made it again. That's 3 of those in this game. They've got 42 on the scoreboard. So I'll make it 42 to 18, or 16, excuse me. 3, Tanner Pierce, off no good. Penn with the rebound. He's going to go to Holthouse with 2:43 remaining. Nolan Hogue off no good. Penn with the rebound, and the putback is good. So Ryan Penn. 2:30 remaining in the third quarter. Upton, a long 3 off no good. Love with the rebound. Ruffin Thomas, the shot. It's off, no good. Pierce with the rebound, and I think he's going to be fouled by Hogue.
Tanner Pierce will shoot 2. The foul goes to number 20, Nolan Hogue. His first.
It is Hogue.
Third.
His first, team's third of the second half. 2:15 to go. Pierce shooting a couple free throws for BPC. First one is off, no good.
In for Bushnell-Prairie City, 14, Connor Palm.
Connor Palm checking in for BPC. Second one for Pierce is good. 44-17. That's why my scoreboard wasn't keeping up. It hadn't put the point up earlier. Blaine Eddington checking back in for BPC, or for Macomb, excuse me. And a timeout on the floor.
Do we got something going on tonight? Little girls cheerleading or something?
Yes,
there is. I was thinking so, the way that everybody was rolling in here.
Junior cheerleading or young girl cheerleading, whatever the case may be here. And we get ready to go for this. So we'll have a little bit more time in between games. We may try to show that. Problem is, audio-wise, we might have to do it without audio, but we'll see if we can get it in so you can watch. This game being brought to you by King Family Chiropractic with locations in Bushnell and Macomb. Sports Bushnell-Prairie City Athletics. They offer office hours in Macomb Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Bushnell Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. To set an appointment, call 309-837-MY-DC at 6932. They also perform DOT and CDL physicals for just minimal charge. So, 44-17. Gok for 3. It's off, no good. Eddington had a chance at the rebound as Jackson Groudage comes down with it, but just went up a little early. Timing on rebounding is like one of the biggest things.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Jones, shots off, no good. Hogue now back the other way. Love puts up some defense. Holthouse is there, and another chance at a three-point play. I don't know what the record for three-point plays I've seen in a game for one player are, but this is the fourth opportunity for it, I think, for Braden Holthouse. And this is what we were talking about, I think, off air. We're at the 30-point, flirting at the 30-point mark now, and it'll be a running clock in the fourth quarter if they get to 30 points. And they are there, but it has to stay there, so it'll have to be there in the fourth quarter. Palm gives it off to Ruffin Thomas. Back the other way it goes. Holthouse is the only starter on the floor. Penn's going to pick up a foul for the Bombers. Team foul number 4.
His second.
Team 4.
Xander Jones going to inbound for BPC. Guppy checking in. Jackson Groudage. Isaac Leinbach coming back in. That's probably the last time we'll see Braden Holthouse tonight.
I would probably say you're right. Don't take your shoes off. Just head down to the varsity.
Ruffin Thomas shot. Talon Love with a rebound and a putback. It's off, no good. Penn with the rebound. He's going to outlet it to Hogue. Xander Jones tried to get the steal. Hogue now going to come out to Leinbach. His shot's up and off, no good. Guppy's going to foul Eddington, who got the rebound. Eddington to go to the free throw line.
I thought that was going to fall, didn't you?
I did too.
Personal foul charged to Parker Guppy, number 2, is first. Team at 4 at the line for 2.
Isaac back there talking with Matthew Gok, shaking his head, saying, I thought it was going in.
Thought I was going to get in the book, huh?
He thought he was getting in the book, but didn't quite go. Checking in for BPC number 10, Gary Hughes. 1:06 to go in the third quarter. Eddington's second free throw rattles, went dead on the back iron, and it fell in.
Is that called shooter's touch?
Yeah, it died back there almost.
It did.
Didn't it?
I thought it was just going to stay there.
Had a little spin on it, but, man, it hit that back iron. It just stopped rotating and stopped moving. Ruffin Thomas saves it in to Hughes. Xander Jones Steal by Eddington, steal by Penn, and Penn's going to have a layup off the wrong foot and the wrong hand, and he missed it. Ruffin Thomas with it with 34 seconds left.
I'll have to watch to see if he is left-handed.
As Lineball with a tip. And tipped it away again. Getting craziness out there. Hughes with it. There's Connor Palm under harassment. And it's going to fall
nice
in
move
for Parker Guppy. And the quarter's going to end unless Linebaugh can hit this three. He puts it up. It looks good. It's off to the right. And it's going to be 48-19. Favor the Bombers. And we will not have a running clock yet in the fourth quarter. This game being brought to you tonight by M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture stores. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles for everything you need to furnish a new home or replenish an old one. Stop and see the fine folks at 41 West Main Street or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.mbfurnitureinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111. And Heil Enterprises and Heil Trucking. They can take your product down the road near or far and also offer top-notch heavy-duty truck and trailer repair. Second-generation business continues to grow and continues to support BPC Athletics. Stop by and see Danny or Travis on Route 41 south of Prairie City or call them at 309-775-3333. And Community News Brief. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also then download the Monday and Wednesday editions free from their website. All of this for less than $50 a year. Even cheaper if you're 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, Blandonsville, and, of course, Macomb. Ruffin Thomas. Guppy again down low. Can't get it to fall. Penn with the rebound. Down low. That's Beck with it, I do believe. Oh, it's Vanonik, excuse me, number 34, Vanonik. And it will be a running clock now. Not very easy to see at the moment. Three on the way by Jones is good. Xander Jones, number 5. Call Penn for the foul. His third. Penn, number 2. Penn picks up his third, team's 5th. Checking in for the Bombers going to be number 14, Isaac House. Isaac Linebaugh taking a seat. 6:35 remaining. Palm and House battling it up there. Jones picked up by Gock. Vanonik with the steal. He's going to go back the other way. Stops and travels.
One step too many, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes you get going just a little too fast. Your mind works faster than your feet, or your feet work faster than your mind. I don't know which way you think that is.
I will tell you, the older you get, your mind still works, but my feet don't work.
And a layup off, no good for Reese Reimolds, who's in the game. Reese sat beside us when we did the BPC West Prairie Junior High game the other day, I do believe. Beck almost got called for a travel again right there, and he's going to lose that one out of bounds after it was knocked off of him by Ruffin Thomas, I believe. No pep band, it would appear, again tonight. Ruffin Thomas for 3. Banked it, but it won't fall. Isaac House with the rebound. And then he's going to lose it off his leg out of bounds. It'll go back to BPC.
You know, that just makes me sad.
Hurts your heart, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
You know, the best part about high school basketball especially is going to a gym, the place rocking because the pep band's blaring, popcorn, maybe a soda or two, and a packed gym.
And the cheerleaders cheering and going and just crowd into it.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan Adler in the game as well. Ruffin Thomas going to come up to Adler. Over to Palm for three. It's off, no good. Rebound for the Bombers, number 24, Daniel Taylor. And Guppy going to pick up the foul.
Hey, I heard that one clear up here.
It's funny. Guppy just looked to the left and kind of smiled a little, and Daniel Taylor walked back by it. He stuck his hand out. It's like, hey, sorry about that. I did. That was harder, way harder than, or was not what I had meant to do. Let's put it that way. As we approach the halfway point of the fourth quarter here, Taylor with it. Taylor is a lefty. Gok down to Penn. Penn shot up, off no good. Rebound back to Gok. His shot's off no good. Vanonic with the rebound and the putback.
Nice job by Vanonic. Didn't bring it down, went right up with it.
And had under control, went up with it. Didn't force it. He grabbed it and put it back up.
Yes, did a nice job.
Ruffin Thomas. Reimolds to Palm, who missed a shot. Rebound, Gok. Ryan Adler picks up the foul. Team sixth on BPC. I forgot to put the other one from Guppy last time down on the board. Gok's going to try the triple. It's short. Penn with the rebound. And Penn's left-handed as well, it would appear. Going back to the left-handed layup from the right side. Guppy trying to get a little too fancy. And then going to knock it off of House out of bounds. And it'll go back to BPC, I should say. Adler with it. Ruffin Thomas now. He's going to put the layup up. It's blocked by Penn. He was going towards Taylor, who has a foot on him probably, and Penn's got about 8 inches on him. And he was still going down there trying to make something happen.
Hoping he's going to get fouled.
Ruffin Thomas for three. Banks it off, no good. Reimold saves it in. Penn with the layup in the basket. He did look a lot more comfortable from the left side right there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and that's funny. We say that he went off the wrong foot. We're just so many people are right-handed, and I'm right-handed. It's sometimes you forget that the natural way for other people might be left, right?
Yeah, but we got to shoot left-handed. Those are fundamentals that should be taught.
Right. House gives it to Vanonic, who gets the cross. He might have went over and back. Was that over and back?
It was close, but we've talked about this before. That line is so hard to see.
Yes.
You know.
I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have black or white or something on each side of it. You know what I mean?
I don't know why it doesn't have black on both sides. I'm thinking it used to. But I think this floor was redone this past year.
You can see it in our camera pretty easily. Vanonic, another jumper, off no good. Penn with the rebound and the putback. But when you're down at this angle, the light glares on and it's harder to see. It's not drastic change enough, right?
And on the floor, it's tough to see too.
Jump ball as Gok ties up Adler. Adler took about 4 steps there.
Yeah.
And that'll be the end of the game as the clock is still running. 56-22. Penn, see if he shoots it or not. Goes down to Gok. Gock's going to try to put up a shot. Penn's got another rebound to put back up and in. So Ryan Penn gets the bucket to fall. And that'll be the final, 56-22. The Bombers get the win over BPC in JV competition. We'll take a break and give you some stats when we come back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
And welcome back here to Macomb High School. Kelly tallying up some more scores here as we were talking instead of working on the break.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I can't really say a whole lot there. But, well, let's look at some, helping to bring you this contest here on TSSR Game Time Live as the final for tonight for the Fresh Soft game, 58-22. Game brought to you by Rosie's Pizza. They offer something for everyone with pasta, sandwiches, and, of course, pizza. Dine in or carry out, 458 East Main Street in Bushnell. They also deliver to Good Hope Adair and all points in between. And also want to tell you the game being brought to you by the Old Dairy, located 210 South Lafayette Street in Macomb, serving soup, salads, and sandwiches. Blue Bunny Ice Cream and full-service coffee bar, breakfast served all day, and free Wi-Fi. Visit online at olddairymacomb.com. As you can see the kids on the screen as they are just cheering right now. They're not doing any dances, so we'll keep talking, though, as they get ready to go.
I'm thinking I have to go to one of these, maybe Thursday or Friday night.
And you can't wait, can you?
I'm excited.
Also helping to bring you tonight's contest, Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar, Sports Corner at 124, with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street, Macomb. And Tom Conklin State Farm, face-to-face, over the phone, by email, or by text. You choose how you do business with Tom Conklin State Farm, Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. And Ron Elby Auto Sales, with locations in Macomb and Augusta. And with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. And Macomb on East Jackson Street. Stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsellscars.com to check out their inventory. And Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Since 1960, Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. Well, you want to give some stats?
Sure.
While they're watching, while everybody at home can still watch the young ladies and gentlemen on the floor. Actually, I don't know if there's any boys out there or not. I think it might all be girls.
I think it is all girls. For BPC, Guppy had 2 points. Jones ended up with 3. Huffman on the night with 6. Beekman had 4. Reynolds had 3. Love had 1. And Pierce ended up with 3 on the night. For Macomb, Penn had 8. Conley had 14. Holthouse 21. And Lee ended up with 3. Venonic 4. Lambert 6. Hobson 4. And Eddington 1.
So once again, the cheerleaders to be on the floor right now. The Bomber dance team cheer squad went to sectionals, I believe it was, in Effingham over the weekend. but were not able to advance to state. But always that's a group that you love to see at the basketball games and the football games, Kelly, but they put in a ton of work, don't they?
Oh, I would say having a daughter that competed and at state for Macomb and having her as a cheer coach at Farmington and her team's going to state, people don't realize the amount of work that goes into it. I mean, unbelievable amount of work. And when people come down and say, oh, they're not athletes, I'm going to tell you, yes, they are. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And the sad thing is I got 2 granddaughters that are just eating it all up right now, and Grandpa's like, get a basketball in their hand, get a basketball in their hand.
You want them to play basketball, but you'd be just as happy to go watch them cheer, wouldn't you?
Without a doubt. Yeah, as long as one's throwing the softball, we'll be all right.
That's the nice thing. You can cheer fall and winter and then play softball in the spring, right?
Yeah.
And in the summer. That's for sure. So that's going to do it for the kids on the floor tonight. So that'll do it for us as well. You've been watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Kelly Sears and Tegan Perry. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the varsity contest, BPC and Macomb, live from the hangar at our next feed. So we'll log out of this one and hop into the next one. We'll see you in just a few minutes.